eye rub.
Got to rub those eyes before you start the show, Tom. Question.
Answer.
As a Packers fan.
Me?
Yeah. What's harder to deal with? Just a totally disappointing end to a season, whether that's missing the playoffs or losing in the first round of the playoffs, or waiting for Rodgers to make a decision every offseason. What's more painful?
On my heart, it's the playoffs. On my mental state, it's waiting for Rodgers. Oh, baby. We here.
We cheer.
For the end of this thing. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is a G, a P, and an S.
Wow. Well, I think we all thought a decision would have been made by today.
Brandon, I'm tired. I'm tired, Brandon. I'm so tired.
That guy is really dragging this one out.
And the thing is, Brandon, like everyone's like, okay, well, it has to be today. It doesn't, because the timeline, like the deadline that keeps getting said by Murphy and Goody and Rodgers is March 15th. So we literally might be waiting an additional like 2 days before we even hear anything.
Well, I mean, that's fair because like the tampering window starts today. There's
it's going to start literally in less than an hour.
Free agency starts on Wednesday, and most teams are using this 48-hour period to get a lot of stuff done. But since the Packers never do anything in free agency, they're just like, we'll deal with it Wednesday.
Oh, wow. The Bengals signed Michael Thomas. The safety.
Bengals signed him?
The safety.
Oh, you son of a gun.
I mean, technically it's true, though. It's true. It's true. Michael Thomas. Just, 1 year contract. There you go. Yeah, you're starting to see some contracts come out. We've seen a couple of trades, some big trades after GPS. Of course, you had Friday, in which the number 1 overall pick was traded. And now there's talks about the Panthers potentially moving down to number 2, which is something that we talked about when I went live. And I was like, hey, like this definitely could happen, because if they think it's like, hey, we will get either choice of QB, like we're happy with either one, then why not recoup some of that draft capital?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think the Texans are going to move from 2 to 1. Like if the Panthers feel good about both quarterbacks, then the Texans got to be like, well, you know what? We do 2 then. We do 2. We feel great about both of them as well. I think it'd have to be another team trying to, oh man.
No, because they wouldn't go.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's just, I think people are trying to keep the sexiness, the allure of the mystery around that number 1 pick alive.
Hopefully not. Derrick Henry's definitely not going to Dallas. They're busy paying 2 running backs.
Yeah.
There's no way it can. So, we have that. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, we're still waiting on a decision. Yesterday, you had Jalen Ramsey being traded to the Dolphins. So now you have Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey back there. That should be fun. The Rams things look dire. But we knew they weren't going to be good this year. We're still waiting about Matthew Stafford, if he's going to be healthy. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know. So we're waiting, buddy. I'm just tired. I'm so tired. My phone screen time was up significantly last week.
I bet. Significantly. I checked Twitter yesterday, probably more than I have since the football season ended.
Yeah. I literally so Perna, listen, I live a life where my phone is always on silent. I miss all my phone calls because I just don't care. And like all my notifications are all turned off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I turned them on for Twitter. Like that's how bad this is. I turned it on. So now my phone vibrates every now and then and I hate it. And I hate it so much.
Like, did you happen?
Yep, because I'm like filming and it's like bleh. So every single time.
How did Rodgers get traded? That's yes. I imagine you every other minute.
I made a whole video about that on Saturday.
Did he retire?
Yep. Bro. Dude, there's so much because that was something that we didn't get because Friday was a really big day. Like Friday was a big news day because not only was there the trading of the number 1 overall pick, but which I do want to talk to you about, but there was also Mark Murphy news with the Green Bay Packers because Mark Murphy was interviewed and basically said that Aaron Rodgers wasn't their first choice. He basically said, like, they're like, could he come back as a starter? And you're like, yeah, if things don't work out the way we want them to. You're like, oh, okay. Yep. All right. So that was pretty interesting. I don't know that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Maybe Baker Mayfield to the Buccaneers. I don't even know why you do that, but yeah. So, yeah.
We'll get to this.
We got a lot. What do you want to talk about first, Brandon? Just jump into it.
Let's start with the trade since it's the oldest news.
Yes.
We'll go from Bears to Ramsey to whatever else. So yeah, Friday, I was out at the park playing with my child when all of this happened.
Same.
By the time I got home, you'd already had a video up. So I was like, well, fuck that guy, first of all.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, buddy, I had 2 videos out in a stream.
I know. I was like, maybe do a short, but I was trying to enjoy spending time with my child. So this trade happens. And if a team from now on makes any sort of big trade after 2 p.m. on Friday, the NFL should fine them. Friday to Friday night, nobody cares at that time. Everybody's trying to get to the weekend. They're trying to go and enjoy their evening, have some drinks. It's just bad etiquette. So power rankings, Bears, Panthers, bottom of the list right now. Second thing, Bears get out of the 1 spot, right? They get a haul for the picks.
Yeah.
They get a first rounder next year. Is it a second rounder this year with it?
They get a first, so they get the 9th overall, and I think it's like a late second or early third for this year. And then they get first, and I think it's a second. Then they get a second, I think, in 2025, and
they get 3 seconds.
I could be wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, and we got to stop saying they get a first rounder this year. They go from 1 to 9. That's not a trade up.
Okay, hold on.
So they only got 1 first rounder. DJ Moore, 2 seconds is what I believe.
Hold on. Okay, number 1 pick for DJ Moore, the number 9, the number 61, 2024 first, and a 2025 second.
Okay.
So
in 2025. All right.
Yes.
So it's very solid compensation. I think the nice piece there is DJ Moore coming in for the Panthers.
Yes.
That's a great move.
Yes.
But this is where I want people to pump the brakes, Tom. I was thinking about this.
Pump it.
Man, Brian Poles, greatest GM on earth Friday. Okay, Ryan Poles. Everybody's like, this dude, they gave him the glowing eyes. Credit. He got nice value for that pick. Mm-hmm. I could have done the exact same thing, Tom. I could have done the same thing. What he does with the picks that he gets is what's going to be important because he didn't draft Justin Fields. Did he? Did he draft the QB of the future? No. He came in and the Bears fell to the number 1. The Bears are in the weirdest position where they believe they have found their quarterback of the future while also having the number 1 pick, which was gifted to them by the Texans. And that number 1 pick happens in a year where people are very high on quarterbacks, where everybody knows the Texans need a QB. So the value for that number 1 pick, that leverage is at an all-time high. So I'm just saying, I could have made that move. You could have made that move. And honestly, I might have gotten more than Ryan Poles in this situation. I might have gotten more. Don't get me wrong. It was the right move. Bears are on the right track. I'm happy for the Bears. But it's like, if you're a GM, that situation is the best situation to walk into probably in the last decade in the NFL. In the last decade, you're just gifted everything. See, I thought you were getting mad at me for spitting facts about Ryan Poles. Instead, you were just crying about the fact that your quarterback has no respect for your time. No respect for your time, Tom. Yeah, Lovie Smith was an inside job. Lovie Smith, honestly, like the Bears, they purchased that area of land. I forget what it's called. Arlington Park. Is that what it is?
Arlington Heights.
Arlington Heights. And they're going to build a new stadium. It should just be called Lovie Land. The Bears should just play in Lovie Land from now on. Because him getting that victory, Davis Mills throwing a Hail Mary touchdown to win it, man. Like, if you're a Bears fan, you got to start believing that luck is coming your way. Yep. Luck. The Bears are going to win the Super Bowl in the next 2 years. That's what's going to happen.
Chicago, you know what? Bears At this point, I'm hated by Eric. Yes. So I understand what you're saying. I think so. I have this opinion because I think if it was just for the picks, I think that this was a very fair trade. I think getting the value that they did, right? Because they went from 1 to 9 and then they pick up the 61st pick, a first rounder next year, and then a second rounder in 2025. So I feel like that is fair compensation, right? You get there first, you get some later picks, you're getting that draft capital. I think the thing that puts it over the top is DJ Moore. And so obviously we can't judge trades because the last time that we did on this show, you thought Russell Wilson was a good one. So when we talk about like actually evaluating,
got time for that to be true. Trade ain't over. Mm-hmm. I got 6 more years to be right, mother liquor.
Did you say butt liquor?
I said mother liquor.
Butt liquor. Our prices have never been lower. So anyway, the reason why DJ Moore is because I think he's a top 10 wide receiver. 1, I mean, like, that's pretty big. And then 2, and more importantly, the Packers offered the Panthers a first-round pick for DJ Moore last season during the season when DJ Moore was rumored to go, and they said no to that. So in my opinion, you get a top 10 wide receiver like immediately. So he's going to help Justin Fields. You don't have to really worry too much about that right this second. And then in terms of value, like, because I think they have like 2 years left on the deal after this year. Like I think that's a home run because as you and I both know, draft picks, who knows? Like, right, it's a total like crapshoot. Yep. We scout, we do all these things, but it doesn't mean anything because if the Panthers, and I tweeted this out, if the Panthers get their franchise QB, they're not going to give a crap who they gave up. Like they're not going to give a crap about the draft picks. They're not going to care about DJ Moore as much. They can go get a wide receiver still because they have a second round pick because I think they have like, was it the 39th pick or something like that? Like they have plenty of capital. So I think they're going to get a young team if they get their franchise guy. If they don't, then this is going to blow up in the Panthers' face. So,
yeah, I mean, I think I feel the exact same way. When I first read like the compensation, I was like, oh. Then I saw DJ Moore. And I was like, that's a nice get.
Yeah.
For Carolina. I mean, the Panthers. It's a huge loss for Carolina. I was like, they have no weapons now. They gave up the picks that they need to draft and build around the quarterback they're going to take at number 1. So that's where it gets a little dicey for Carolina. It's like, well, how do we put a team around this young QB that we're going to bring in? I don't care who's developing him, unless like the Panthers have the greatest offensive line on earth. Mm-hmm. Young QBs need weapons in the passing game, and that's really like what we saw this last year with the Bears, as well as Justin Fields played. They're definitely lacking. So they get the guy that DJ Moore, who's played well with just a hodgepodge of quarterbacks through his career.
He's wide
right?
receiver 1. Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of has, he's had like a similar career as Allen Robinson had before he went to the Rams last year, but then it didn't work out because Robinson was with like Bortles, right? And then
went to Chicago instead of Green Bay,
a
which is like the big
of Chicago QBs.
Yep.
So,
but it's like, it's also like Scary Terry, right? Like Scary Terry is one of like the most underrated guys because he has played with like a litany of not great QBs and still puts up like crazy numbers. So,
right. So yeah, that's the nice piece for them.
I think in terms of so the Bears, you get that like immediate value, right? Like, you know that this guy is going to work out, or at least he's worked out in every other like year. If he doesn't with you, then that's just a you thing. Like, then the Bears just suck, which hopefully. But I think in terms like this is just a great move. I didn't expect it to be the Panthers though, because you know who this really screws? The Colts.
Yeah,
this like really screws because the Texans,
Frank Reich
fine,
just
right?
jumping over their Colts pick.
Yeah, because you have the Texans who, listen, they would have liked to get a haul. Like, you know, they're gonna be thinking of like, man, we could have gotten a bunch of picks, like, and we need to rebuild. We have a lot of holes, so that's one. But they're gonna get their QB because it's either gonna be probably Stroud or Bryce Young. It's probably gonna be one of those, right? Unless they like do a swing for Anthony Richardson. So they're fine. But the Colts, like, they're going to lose out on, like, the 1 and 2 QB. Justin! Appreciate you.
The Colts sitting at 4 right now are in, like, a really weird situation because the Cardinals are ahead of them, and the Cardinals don't need a quarterback.
No.
So 2 QBs could go 1 and 2, and then a team that likes that third guy that's available, they could just jump the Colts, and then the Colts are stuck. Probably, I think will be in this situation. Will Levis? They'll be like, maybe that's their guy, maybe that's who they want, but they got to move. I think
I got you, Justin.
Hey!
Oh, Jonnu Smith just got traded to the Falcons.
Don't care.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, what are the Falcons going to grab another tight end that they can't get the ball to in the end zone? Is that their plan? Hot Atlanta.
Oh, it's show.
Man, the Patriots, they spent a bag to get Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, where is that? I didn't see it on Twitter. That's what the chat.
It's Rappaport. Rappaport got it.
Oh, Rappy got it. Rappity rap. Oh, there you go, Jonnu Smith.
I mean, they'll have some good ball catchers then.
Favorite player on a rival team? Ugh.
Favorite player on a rival team?
Jay Cutler. Easy. Most annoying player? Sue. Hated Sue.
Whoa.
I hated Sue so much.
Whoa. Favorite player on a rival team? Andy Reid. Andy.
Okay. You know what? That's fine.
Austin Eckler. I like the Eckelnator.
That's what his friends call him.
Austin Eckler, third in Renfro. Most annoying, Josh McDaniels.
There you go.
Who sent Cutler to your rival? There you go.
Which love smoking Jay Cutler.
Yeah, but did you like Cutler?
Yeah, because he threw a lot of interceptions to the Packers.
See, everybody hated Cutler until he retired, and then they're like, oh, he's just always smug, even towards his wife and in real life all the time. Now I dig it.
Let's go. Anyway, I'm surprised it was the Panthers because, like, that's a big jump for them. I didn't know what the hell they were going to do. So now, let me ask you this. If you are the Colts, Brandon Perna, why in the actual hell are you not calling up Lamar Jackson?
Well, because nobody can talk to Lamar until Wednesday.
I understand.
Right?
Well, they can tamper, so can't they call him in in 40 minutes, or no, is it to Wednesday?
They can't talk. They can't negotiate with him till Wednesday.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just said it on the NFL Network, so.
Oh, there you go. All right, so in that case, but okay, so Wednesday, why are the Colts not calling?
I would call.
Yeah, like immediately you're just like, listen, we're probably not, because let's go the way that it's likely to go. It's CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, right? One of those could go 1-2. Have a nice day. You could do any combination of that. After that, you start taking some swings at QBs, right? There's Anthony Richardson, who, again, super duper athletic. Do you want to try and make him your guy? Levis, you can. I don't know, top 5, but
yeah. Like if I'm a team right now picking that high up, I'm swinging with Anthony Richardson.
Agreed.
Because of the cost. That would be the main thing. But if I'm a team, I don't know, from like 8 to 20 and I need a QB, then yeah, I feel like I'm going all in for Lamar Jackson.
Because why not? If you're the Colts, be like, yeah, let's fucking give 2 first-round picks. Here you go. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I mean, is Matt Ryan still on the Colts roster right now?
Yeah, but they're gonna tell him to look at.
They're gonna cut him. They're gonna take what, 18 mil in dead cap.
Honestly,
the Colts taking Anthony Richardson and having Matt Ryan for one more season, that's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah,
it's not a bad spot to be in.
Apparently, Jonnu Smith got traded to the Falcons. It's for a 7th rounder. Man, really getting that one. Really getting.
Boy, Patriots fans, they're living a different life now, where players are going to their team and becoming less valuable.
Yeah.
Like how often when Brady and Belichick were together, they would take like a flyer on a dude, increase his value, and then dish him out for more picks.
Yeah.
Now players are going, skill players are going there, and everybody's like, they're not good with Belichick.
Again, Seahawks just makes sense. Seahawks makes sense for Anthony Richardson. Sit behind Geno Smith, learn, etc. Because I feel like if Anthony Richardson goes to the Colts, it's like you're starting immediately, and he needs to sit for like a year. So, yeah,
he needs to go to a place where he can sit, but also can come in and play and contribute for situational football.
Sure, I would have loved Brandon Cooks anytime we had Aaron Rodgers. I don't think we have Aaron Rodgers anymore. So yeah, I'm just gonna go live later if that's the case. Let's see. I how many videos I need to put out. There's a lot. There is a lot. So, but do you like this for the Panthers?
Like what?
Do you like this trade for the Panthers? Because I think Frank Reich, like being there and also being able to pick his QB, like that. There's definitely some good.
No, I mean, I love that Carolina brought in a new head coach, and right away, the reason they brought in Frank Reich is because of what he's done with quarterbacks, the younger quarterbacks. He played quarterback, and now they're giving him the chance to get his guy. What I don't believe is that the Panthers don't know who their guy is, right? Like they're saying, we got a month to figure out and talk and evaluate all these great QBs. I mean, I guess I can buy that there's like a couple quarterbacks that they believe are franchise QBs, but I don't. I feel like you don't move up to number 1 unless you believe one of these quarterbacks is 100% the dude you can build your team around and succeed with moving forward. So, but like, what is it? Is it CJ Stroud though? I think his value went up a lot over the weekend.
I agree.
Because was it Josh McCown, who is the quarterback's coach for the Panthers, very high on Stroud? So now the thought is that's kind of in the word from the combine or whatever that the Panthers like Stroud. So,
I mean,
which would be interesting if they take Stroud, then the Texans probably get the guy they wanted all along.
Bryce Young,
and Bryce Young.
Exactly. Then you get to rock and roll. And then after that, it's kind of okay, because I think it's right. Those are like the top 2 consensus. And then there's, okay, like Anthony Richardson could be really good, needs some time to develop, has those amazing traits that you want. He's like a super stud athlete, but it might take some time. And then there's like a little bit of a drop off, at least in terms of perception. In reality, who the hell knows? But if you're a Colts fan, you're just not thrilled. Not thrilled. John!
There you go, John.
Pray for the kitty. So Patriots. So let's talk about the Dolphins trade, because it seems that there's lots of moves being made within the AFC East. Obviously, is the upcoming potential Aaron Rodgers trade to the Jets. You're going to have the Patriots, who have a lot of cap, but they're trading Jonnu Smith for a 7th. Like that's their big move of the day. But they could bring in a lot of people. I would love Lamar Jackson to go there. That would be really interesting.
That would be interesting.
I would love to see that. And now the Dolphins are getting better too, huh, John? I got you. Has nothing to do with the Patriots, but
Go Chargers, go.
Go Chargers, go. Go Chargers. We're just waiting. Whoa! That's for Perna. Perna, you got a hundo.
Ow. Thanks, Derek. I got a concussion from your $100 dono. Let's see. As a Chiefs fan, I have to ask your thoughts on your ex-coach Hackett's comments on the NFL Films YouTube video about coaches and their headsets. It's around 2:15. He's different. Best wishes to the both of you. Well, I need to see that clip to answer it. NFL Films YouTube video about coaches, 2:15. Okay. I'll check it out. You know what? You know who I feel very good about?
Johnny John John!
The mayor of Colorado, John Elway.
And I'm sorry. We need to talk about the phenomenal video that you made. Jess crushed that. And the laugh, great Scooter form. That was 20 million times better than Scooter's punishment. That was supposed to be Scooter.
Yep. She can have all the credit for it.
I said you did a great job too.
No, let's.
I said
your form on reshoot it.
I said your form on the Scooter was great.
That was 2 takes.
Those 2 takes. Okay. I think that should be a clip.
Yeah, we can bring it in.
That's a 50 clip. Like it's like not the real thing, but it's good, you know?
Yeah. We'll see at night. Carmi likes to ride her bike around the house. She's got a little scooter. And her scooter, I'm too heavy for it. So had to bring in the big real scooter, ride that around the house. We'll add it. We'll add it to the arsenal.
There you go. All right, so let's talk about this. So AFC East making some moves. The Dolphins, because their defense was the weak point last year.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously Tua's health was too, but once they had Tua back, their offense was doing pretty well. So they have Xavier Howard already. They already have had one of the best corner rooms in the NFL, right? That was where they were spending a ton of money. And now they bring in Jalen Ramsey, who's still getting good money. And I don't think is in his prime anymore, but for a third and a backup tight end, I think that's a pretty good move for the Dolphins.
What baffles me is how the Rams couldn't get more for Jalen Ramsey. He is still a very good corner. And to me, it feels like Les Snead has been effing them picks for so long that he forgot what their value is.
I think it's the contract. The contract is a problem.
I don't know. The Dolphins got to steal. I'm more surprised that the Dolphins were able to get Ramsey for a third than the Bears and Panthers trade swapping up in the draft. If you look at Ramsey, he's still very good. I think the Rams were just horrible last year. And there's a lot of people who think that Ramsey's not good anymore because he gave up some touchdowns.
Richardson.
Whole defense was worse. Offense was worse. He's still a solid corner. And even if he's not as good as he was, say, a year earlier, he's still a top 10 corner. And I think having him in the secondary is going to make Xavier Howard look better again. And they're being paired with Vic Fangio. So
that I like. That I like a lot.
It's if you're looking for teams making leaps next year, I think the Chicago Bears are going to make a huge leap because they set the bar so low.
It's real low.
But the Dolphins defense, I think it's tracking to be better. And let's say Ramsey plays well. The one area the Dolphins really struggled in was the pass rush, right? They had trouble getting to quarterbacks consistently. It's why they traded for Bradley Chubb. If your secondary's better, that gives your edge rushers just a little more time to get the quarterback. So,
I mean, the Dolphins are trying to go all in, right? They're trying to maximize this window because they did pick up Tua's fifth-year option. So that kind of silenced a lot of people. So he's going to be on the team for 2 more years, and it's going to be relatively cheap. So they're like, hey, we're going to make these huge trades, which they are, right? They got Tyreek Hill. They went out and they got Raheem Mostert. They went out and they got a brand new head coach. They're getting these defensive stars. So it's like, hey, there's this limited window. We're going to try and go with the tried and true formula of winning up with a rookie QB contract. And let's see if it works out. The problem is that you worry about your QB1's health. That's obviously number one. Yeah. And then the other issue is within your division, it's getting better, right? The competition's getting, if Aaron Rodgers comes to the Jets are going to be good. The Bills, already a very good team. The Patriots are there. So
isn't Tua isn't he like doing jujitsu or some mixed martial arts to learn how to fall better?
Yeah.
All right. Barks sent me the Nathaniel Hackett clip. So let's take a listen for that hundo.
I've really enjoyed making love to your ears. I think that you have beautiful ears. They fit very nicely. So I would say it would be an erotic.
Why did we let that man go? Why?
I've really enjoyed making love to your ears.
Yes.
Feel better, Nicole. What?
Coach of the year. Comeback coach of the year. Dude, that's why I liked Hackett so much. If I'm being honest.
You loved him when he was like unloading records in his garage.
Yeah.
And you're like, I like records.
No, he's funny. That's the thing.
I know.
Guess what, though? The only funny coach who's also good is Mike McDaniel. We learned that the hard way. What I like about a person doesn't necessarily make him a good head coach in the National Football League. Man, Russell Wilson's like, why was I bad last year? Well, my head coach kept trying to fuck my ear hole. You think you can play quarterback when that's happening? I don't.
Do you think he's just like in the headset and he's like, all right, for this play, zebra, Y, banana. Also, Russell, you are looking fine in those pants today. Your glutes are looking tight. All right, on 3.
Let's just say you couldn't take a big enough bite to the Danger Witch, Russ.
You think? Oh, man, that honestly would be hysterical. Like that, you're just like actively trying to like
I want to get
your QB.
I want to get you alone in every single one of your bathrooms, Russ. And Mike cuts off. What play are we running?
Like Hackett's just like, maybe that's why there were so many delay of games. Because Hackett's just like, I'm going to take you home and lay you down across 5 seconds cut off. And so now there's no play clock. And he's like, what's the play? And then delay of game. Maybe that's it.
What we know, okay.
That's my headcanon.
Daniel Hackett, weird, funny. Russell Wilson, weird. Aaron Rodgers, a different kind of weird.
Yeah.
Hackett and Rodgers, more on the same plane of weirdness. That's why they work together. Like Hackett could take those first like 14 or 15 seconds where he's talking to Rodgers and just say a bunch of weird jokes.
Yeah.
And then Rodgers be like, that's hilarious. I'm just going to throw a touchdown now.
Yeah.
Russ was like, but what about Jesus, Nathaniel? Why didn't you? Okay, what do I hand off? Check down. Here we go.
Rodgers just talks back. So LaFleur is like, okay, we're going to do a jet sweep to the left side over here. And Rodgers just like, how do you feel about chemtrails, Matt? Just like, and Matt's like, what? He's like, all right,
I like the way they smell, personally.
I've really enjoyed making love to your ears.
That's that music.
Oh my God, yes. I love it so much. So much. We have nearly 5,000 people in here too. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So yes, Jalen Ramsey, I think again, I don't think he's an elite corner anymore, but I think he is definitely a good one still. And I think considering their secondary is already solid, and like you said, with Fangio, like they should be fine. They should be just fine.
Ramsey going to have a bounce back year, even though he was still very solid last year.
Yeah, maybe, potentially. And now the Dolphins again. The best scenario for them is if this Aaron Rodgers deals falls through. Oh my God, there's going to be a new wave of hate and mockery on this internet that we have not seen in quite some time, because all the other AFC East teams fans are going to be like, like you have nothing now, Jets. And on top of that, Jets fans are going to despise Aaron Rodgers if he's just like, nah, I'm good. Bye. If he just retires after all of this, like, I'm done now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it was going to be I told you, right? It was kind of like, okay, the early. I was like, okay, I think he goes back to the Packers or he gets traded. I don't think he's going to retire. Now I think it's retire or play for the Jets. And I think those are the only two options left.
Yeah, that was the vibe really from Mark Murphy, right? Is like, it felt like they're moving on.
Yeah, it feels like
they're just kind of waiting for Rodgers to give confirmation. But like, if I had to bet, I'd say he's going to the Jets. But that man is sneaky. He is unpredictable. We'll see.
So here's the problem, Brandon, because now there's issues, because I feel like Mark Murphy saying that. So I put this out on Twitter that there's people at 1265 Lombardi that are not happy with what Mark Murphy said, because the Packers usually keep things very, very close to their chest, very, very close. And you saw the reaction once he said complicated fella a couple of years ago, saying that Rodgers was a complicated fella, and the blowback that was for that. So the fact that Murphy said that, and I love Mark Murphy, he does sometimes say things that he shouldn't say. And I think like this may have been one of those times, because there's a rumor, and I'm not trying to do clickbait and not trying to push this rumor. There's like, hey, maybe Rodgers is trying to legitimately figure it out. And he also just heard what the Packers said about him, which Rodgers has kind of been accusing the organization of saying all this time for this past year. And it's kind of like, hey, we don't know what the organization's going to do. They're having conversations without me, all this other stuff. And we're like, this is weird, Rodgers. Like, what are you talking about?
Of course they are. You're not there.
Yeah. 100%. But he took that personally and was putting that up. And he's like, I don't know what the franchise wants. I don't know what the team wants or the front office. And the front office before that point, all the way up till January, was like, we want Rodgers back. Goody's like, we want all those guys back. And then Goody said that the contract we gave him was more than just for one season. Then you had Matt LaFleur saying that they wanted him back. And it wasn't until the combine that Goody was speaking and was like, well, we have to see what works out for both sides. And that's when you had a shift in tone. And I don't know if that was something that was brought on because Goody was like, all right, I'm just done with this crap. Or they came to a consensus, or this is how the team has been feeling, has been keeping it close to the chest. And Rodgers, who said that it was nothing that the team said, it was just a feeling. It's a weird time, dude.
That's all you can go with Rodgers.
That's it.
A feeling.
Shelby Harris is getting released, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then apparently,
I know the Seahawks are idiots. They're releasing Shelby Harris.
Apparently,
Mr. Slap of the balls himself. Back to Denver, Shelby. Come back home, baby. Come back, especially if we lose Draymond Jones. We're going to need a little help up front. Come back home, Shelby.
The Texans are interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. So that rumor that was coming out last week looks to be accurate. By the way, we were 5,000 people watching this morning. I appreciate you all. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. But
don't forget GPS Clips channel. We got a Clips channel that we never promote. But stick
Johnny
around for the whole hour
of
of this nonsense. Check out the Clips channel.
It's true. In terms of Jimmy Garoppolo, that makes sense to me, right? Because they don't want Davis Mills anymore. So you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, you draft your QB, he learns behind Jimmy Garoppolo. The thing is, what kind of contract does Jimmy G get? Because you know that he wants more than a one-year deal because he's been surviving off these one-year deals. And it's like, oh, no, I'm going back to the 49ers. Oh, no, going back to 49ers.
Don't do it, Jimmy. Don't do it, Jimmy G.
But again, unless the Jets don't get Rodgers and or Lamar. I mean, what other market does he have? I think
it'll emerge. It'll emerge.
I don't know.
You don't leave the 49ers to go to the Texans. Oh my God.
The linebacker free agent class is actually pretty damn strong. So
going from the 49ers to the Texans is like leaving your wife for a fleshlight. That's what I think of the Texans. The fleshlights.
What?
The NFL.
Yes. Okay. That was some analogy. That was
see if Rich Eisen has that take. That's why you come here, huh, guys? Huh?
That's it. That's what they're really looking for, Brandon. And you did it.
Yeah.
And you done did it.
I didn't mean to click that one, but meant to click this one. Hell yeah.
Yeah. There we go. All right. In addition, there was some Deshaun Watson news today because they restructured his contract, as that seems to be the popular thing around the league right now to try to alleviate some cap space. And so they do. I think his cap hit's only like $19 million now this year.
Not for Jimmy G, it wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. This year, but now for the next 3 seasons after this year, Deshaun Watson's cap hit is going to be, what was it, 64?
Yeah, it's like
$64 million for the next 3 years each.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
So
that is
that to me feels like
much.
The Browns think they have a window this year, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to free up space to make moves.
Oh crap! I didn't close the flute. Hold on once. I just need to make sure my house isn't burning down. Sorry,
Countdown to whether or not Tom Grossi's house is on fire. Let's just sit here in silence while Tom is gone. The Browns freeing up cap space. We know Jesse Bates says he wants to play with Deshaun Watson for some godforsaken reason. And then Broncos defensive end Draymond Jones also said he would like to play opposite Myles Garrett. So maybe those are 2 splash signings they make for their defense. XFL, that's right. We got the XFL recap coming up later today. Decent weekend of football. XFL ball. Tom's taking a while. I'm not feeling good about his house being safe. Thanks,
getting burned down.
Ray.
Sorry. Anyway,
Good.
I apologize. So Deshaun Watson, they think they have a window this year, but I mean, if he sucks, man, oh man, now that's the one. Sorry, Diane.
Ruben, relax, Ruben. Let's not get angry. You know you're the Texans. You're not a good organization.
I think DeMeco Ryans is good.
Yeah, great hire. I hope they do well.
Dude,
and yes, that's why, DeMeco might know Jimmy G. Might be a little familiarity. Maybe they're going to turn the tide there. But historically, they're run by a bad owner. Broncos ownership, we don't know yet. Historically, they've been a good franchise. Last 7 years, not so much. But
Payne also got a crap ton of money from the Commanders, got $90 million. That's going to be a big payday because there's some defensive tackles that need to get paid, which makes the Kenny Clark contract look even better because we only gave him $70 million. Yeah, and Kenny Clark is one of the better ones.
Is Daron Payne that good?
Payne is pretty good, yeah.
Like, I know he's, good, but I feel like he's just a player doesn't get a lot of
there's not a lot of publicity about him, especially on a pretty stacked D line, right? Because it's all Montez Sweat, Chase Young when he played for 5 seconds. I think they're just more hype, but I also feel like defensive tackles are usually very under the radar.
Yeah, no, that's
unless
true.
You're a really, really good one that you know, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's that guy, Big Jeff, right over with the Titans, but I feel like you don't hear about them because they don't get the majority of the sacks and things like that. Yeah, Payne was good. So, yep. No, God, never.
Do you like Baker Mayfield to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom?
I don't, because I feel.
Do you like Baker Mayfield to anywhere?
I remember last offseason we were like, he's kind of like top 15. That was
we were like, I would take him. I would take him. I would take him.
Well, so here's the problem. You can't sign him to a long-term deal. One, I also think that the Buccaneers, they're in rebuild mode. So this is like something to get them by. I think Kyle Trask, you just see what you have there, but the likelihood is just you're going to suck this year. And you're going to have to go through a rebuild. Now, the good news is, you'll get an early draft pick and call it a day. And that's what I forgot to talk about this before. That's the thing with the Rams, because if it's true that they are literally looking to sell just about everybody and just be like, hey, you know what? Like, we just need to clear some cap. We got our ring, so we don't care anymore. It was worth it. They finally have a first round pick next year. Finally. 2024. They finally do. So they can tank pretty damn hard. And if they don't know about Stafford, they can go get a QB if they really want to and start the slow rebuild while still having guys like Cooper Kupp on the roster.
Yeah, and maybe because was it Friday or Thursday that some reports came out saying that the Rams were willing to trade Matthew Stafford. The Rams came out and tried to squash that later.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
If you are the Rams, and you have to strip everything down.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford's like, I've been here before, and it was called the Lions. Do I want to do this again? So, trading Stafford would almost be a favor to him.
Sure.
If the Rams know this process is going to take, it feels like a 3-year rebuild, right? This year, they strip it down. Next year, they have their draft picks back. They start to get some young talent on the team. Year 3, maybe they're actually competitive again. Maybe next year they would be if Stafford stays, but his injury issues are a big concern. Falcons guard Chris Lindstrom.
Yeah, like $100 million.
$5 million deal for a guard. Damn.
Yep.
Is that the first $100 million deal for a guard?
It might be. He got paid really well.
That has to be.
Which is painful.
What does Quentin Nelson make? Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if Stafford is moved because the Rams, they did their thing. They went all in for the Super Bowl. They got their Super Bowl. They thought they might have a chance to compete this last season, right? But it didn't work out. Injuries, mostly to Stafford, but, Cooper Kupp eventually gets hurt. It was just like, oh, shit.
It just went downhill really quick.
Let's just get out of here.
I think, too, also when he started the season, Stafford's elbow, which was a talk during the offseason of, how that was a problem, it was definitely an issue. And then he just got more and more hurt and just wasn't good.
I like the Atlanta Falcons were like, we're not going to talk to Lamar Jackson. $250 million, too much. Here's $105 million for a guard. There's $105 million for a guard.
Good guard, though.
That's got to be the greatest guard on earth.
Dude, cap be changing. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad everybody's getting paid. It's just,
oh, yeah.
The NFL is crazy, man.
And then it's the other news, because, of course, the main story is Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not saying this is a Packers fan. It's just, it feels like the NFL collectively is holding its breath. Bill Huber, who's a Packers beat writer, literally just came out in an article, said the uncertainty at quarterback is impacting business because the team doesn't know how much cap space it will have until it knows if he's playing for the Packers, being traded, or retiring. So we're literally waiting for this. But of course, the other story is Lamar Jackson, which it's been very quiet. It's weird. And I'm wondering, are they just working on something?
Aaron Rodgers now will make $75 million for the Packers this year.
Maybe.
Did it free up cap space? No. It actually means he will account for all of the cap space.
That's it. The entire thing.
Lindstrom, for what it's worth, ranked out as the number 1 guard in PFF last season. Allowed just 2 sacks all year. Ahead of Joel Bitonio. Oh, Tevin Jenkins had a nice come up.
He had a better year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
the good news for you, Chris Jones said that he wanted to be a Chief for life.
Guess what?
Is that to me
I'll
or
never
Chris
trust
Jones?
Chris Jones to make a good decision in his life. Chief, yeah. Okay, Chris. He's going to fall out. His production's going to fall so hard. So hard. It sucks because I like Chris Jones. I've liked him ever since his penis flopped out of the combine. Like, that dude, number one in my power rankings.
What'd you like? Do you like his burst off the edge? Did you like his speed?
Oh, I
Did you like his motor? Nope, I liked...
Yeah. He's so good. I hate how good he is. Oh, I hate how good he is.
I really want to see a full draft video for you because I know you do the names every year, but I want to see a full draft video where you're just like, this guy's my top pass rusher. Why? Wiener came out.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Chris Jones at the NFL Combine he was running the 40.
Well, the 40.
His junk just came out of his shorts. So
Yep. Oh no, it did. Yeah, no, it did.
Like, I didn't just make that up, guys. That's a real
No, that's a real thing. Yeah. Because he like tries to grab it too. Like it's like at the end when he's running. He's like, oh no. Yeah. Oh no. It is true though. So I think you do that.
Yeah.
Million view video. But yeah, folks, we are literally 9 minutes away from the tampering period in the NFL. So just you wait, because this is arguably one of the craziest weeks in the NFL, and I love it so much. It's chaotic. I know, Brandon, you'll be putting out news videos. You doing an XFL video today?
Hell yeah.
I heard
XFL recap.
Real quick, because I didn't get a chance to watch, but like I saw St. Louis, like they packed that stadium out, which is so awesome. Like it's so awesome to see
38,000 sellout for the Battlehawks.
That's pretty incredible.
Very cool. What's crazy is like, because the Battlehawks had like a really good fan base in 2020. Like people were showing up. Caw is the law in St. Louis, Tom. Yep. Caw is the law.
Caw is the law.
And the Battlehawks got the win, so they delivered for their home fans. And I was a little nervous because that game had a very slow start. I was like, oh God, come on. Like I really just wanted the Battlehawks to win for the fans that showed up.
Yeah.
But right now it's like the Battlehawks and the DC Defenders have the two best fan bases of people show up, they freaking party, especially in DC. So it's a good look for the XFL. And they got AJ McCarron out there playing for him at QB, who that's another good story because he chose the XFL over making more money to be a backup in the NFL again. Yep. So, there's a lot of fun storylines there.
It shows that both those places like need real football teams.
Yeah, that's in a big reason St. Louis works. DC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Where's the lie, Brandon? Where's the lie?
The way you said it, Tom, I thought you snuck in some shit about the Broncos that I missed, and I just agreed to it.
Because it was the smirk. That's on me. I was saying the Commanders are not a real team. That was the joke.
What did you say that I missed?
Yeah. Just like, damn it, I agreed that Russell Wilson was the worst QB again. Damn it.
Tom got me. Tom got me even when he didn't get me.
It's true.
Oh, get out of my head.
That's it. All right, anyway. So you'll be coming out with the best of an NFL video? XFL?
Yeah, we got best and worst XFL week 4. So
I like it.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll have a free agency video today or an Aaron Rodgers video. I don't friggin' know.
Yeah. I got if Rodgers news breaks, a crap ton of content. And then if there's a major trade, I'll be covering that. Not Jonnu Smith. I'm not going to do a Falcons and Patriots fan reaction. Oh, what do we get? A 7th end of video. So, well, folks.
Yeah, that Jonnu Smith news.
Yes. But
the Titans should have kept him. He was great in Tennessee, producing at tight end. They're like, we don't need any fucking playmakers here in Tennessee.
No.
All right.
But folks, we appreciate it. We had over 5,300 people here today. We'll be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. But appreciate you. Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna. This is GPS, and you have been navigated. Let's tamper.
And you've reached your destination.